Hear the national anthem.
We need this on the mic. Here, push play.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The absentee ballots received in the mail in April can only be counted if they were returned to the office by the deadlines of April 24th or July 24th. The only ballots that will be collected and counted today were those turned in registration. Again, the report on registration is 44 and we needed 50, so there is no quorum. And what that means is we can do the rest of the program, except we just can't approve the minutes. Right, Niles? Is that it?
That's correct.
Introduction of guests, and there are no guests here. They're just us member owners of Jump River Electric. Attorney Niles Berman will act as parliamentarian at today's meeting.
Good morning. So the item on, next item on the agenda is the proof of notice of meeting. We have an affidavit we have a couple of affidavits showing that Darrell and Howard Cooperative's Mail Services Department mailed notice of meeting, including copies of the ballots, election. Whoa! Sorry. Darrell and Power Cooperative's Mail Services Department, and we're getting feedback. Mailed copies of the notices of meeting and of the director election ballots, and we will place the certificates of mailing in the co-op's corporate records. So at this point, we need to skip the approval of the minutes. As Jerry indicated, without a quorum present this morning, we can't take action on that. Just a note, we are able to complete the election of directors because state statute allows us to count the mail ballots that were cast for the election of directors toward a quorum, but only for purposes of taking action on the election. So we can complete that election this morning lawfully under Wisconsin statute, but we can't ask you to take any other formal actions this year. So come back next year, hopefully in April. This is a wonderful place to hold an annual meeting in July. Maybe not so much first week of April, but come back to the annual meeting next year and we will ask you to vote on last year's meeting minutes and the minutes of this meeting this morning. The next item on the agenda is the introduction of the current board of directors. So I'll ask you each to stand as I introduce you. In District 1, from Sheldon, the director is Jane Reich. From District 2, from Gilman, the director is Myron Brooks. Myron. From District 3, from Sheldon, Joe Lawrence. District 4, from Ladysmith, Jerry Caro. District 5, from Ladysmith. I've got some competition out there, don't I? District 5, from Ladysmith, Bill Van Dorn. District 6, Hayward, John Sermon. District 7, Hayward, Jason Weaver. District 8, Hayward, Wally Crook. And District 9, Hayward, Sandy Sharp. So that's your board of directors. So we were able to conduct the election of directors this morning. Balloting, day of meeting balloting was allowed until Jerry closed the registration and voting when he called the meeting to order. I don't know, have we collected and counted today's meeting day ballots? I can report, I believe there were only about 12 ballots cast this morning. So even before the counting of those is completed, I can report to you the results of that election. But I first want to introduce the tellers, the election inspectors, who I can assure you worked very hard this morning. They earned their keep counting and recounting the ballots to ensure an accurate result. So our election inspectors, if you would rise, please. Jerry Geisler, Arian Knops, Jackson Reeder, Florence Solanke, and Kathy Katera. Thank you all for your hard work. Next on the agenda, I'd like to introduce the nominees for director in the 3 districts that are up for election this year. In District 3, the only nominee was Joe Lawrence. You met Joe a moment ago. In District 4, the only nominee was Jerry Caro. And in District 9, we did have a contested race. Sandy Shara was up for election. And the other candidate was Jim Strandland. Jim? And they're both from Hayward. So those ballots that the tellers counted included not only election in those 3 districts, they also included 4 proposed bylaw amendments and a proposed member resolution, advisory resolution. And even though I don't have the exact final results, I can report the outcome of each of those votes based on the fact that there were only a dozen or so ballots cast this morning. In the District 3 election, Joe Lawrence received 234 votes and is re-elected to another 3-year term. In District 4, Jerry Carroll received 230 votes and is re-elected to another 3-year term representing District 4. In District 9, the preliminary result is Sandy Shara received 155 votes. Jim Strandland received 111 votes, so that's a 44-vote margin. So it looks like Sandy is re-elected in District 9. Congratulations to the three of you, and thanks again to Mr. Strandland. This co-op democratic governance only works if people step up and volunteer to serve on the board. So win or lose, our co-op relies very heavily on people volunteering their time, energy, and experience. So thank you all. We also had 4 proposed bylaw amendments. I'm not going to describe those in any detail. The first one concerned clarifying the absentee and electronic voting processes. The second one had to do with the executive committee of the board. The third one had to do with titles of officers, changing from president to chairperson. And the fourth one had to do with eliminating references to tenants in common memberships, since we've apparently never had any. And along with many of the other co-ops in the state are eliminating those references and simplifying the membership provisions. I can report that all 4 of those proposed bylaw amendments were adopted. First one by a preliminary vote of 274 in favor, 23 opposed. The second one, preliminary results of 235 in favor, 37 opposed. The third one, 227 in favor, 33 opposed. And the fourth one, 238 in favor, 21 opposed. So wide margins for all of those. And in the same way statute allows counting toward a quorum to complete the election of directors, it also allows completion of the formal action adopting those amendments, notwithstanding that we don't have a quorum of members physically present with us this morning. The last item that was on that ballot and that can lawfully be acted on this morning is a proposed advisory resolution submitted by a member. Have to do with recommendations to the board relating to scholarships and some other expenses. And on that resolution, there were 113 votes in favor, 156 votes opposed. That 43 vote margin is not going to be overcome by the votes cast in person at the meeting today. As a consequence, that resolution was not approved. It failed. And with that, I will just mention that we've had a practice over the years to destroy the ballots after the adjournment of the meeting. I'm going to recommend to the staff that they hold on to the ballots for a period of 30 days, and then they will destroy them unless there's another direction from the membership this morning. And with that, Jerry, I think you've got a couple of things on the agenda before I read the auditor's report. Or did you want me to just do the auditor's report while I'm here? Fewer handoffs this way. One of the other items on the business agenda for each annual meeting is a report from the auditors. And we have the written report from Jim Halverson, the co-op's external auditor. It's addressed to the membership. It says we have audited the balance sheets as of December 31, 2019 and 2018, and the related statements of comprehensive margins, patronage capital, and other equities and cash flows for the years then ended. In our opinion, the financial statements present fairly, in all material respects, the financial position of Jump River Electric Cooperative, Inc. as of December 31, 2019 and 2018, and the results of its operations and its cash flows for the years then ended, in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. The financial information in the April 2019 Wisconsin Energy Cooperative News is consistent with our audited financial statements. Total assets for the co-op increased by 14.4% to $47,353,362. This is a result of the cooperative's utility plant increasing $5.5 million as a result of the new distribution plant construction and the new headquarters that was being built. As a result of the ongoing construction for the new headquarters and the additions to distribution plant during 2019, the liabilities of the cooperative went up about $6 million as debt was borrowed to fund the projects. Equity to asset ratio for the cooperative was about 37.5%, which is within the expected standards of the industry and the borrowers. Net margins for the year 2019 were $515,610 as compared to $779,312 in the previous year. And the report to you is signed by the auditor, Jim Halverson. And with that, if you have any questions about that, I'm going to let you direct the numbers questions to Jim if you have questions today or down the road. And with that, I'm going to turn the meeting back to Jerry. Thank you.
One of the things I get to do as an elected president of the board is to speak to you about the board's positions. Before I get there, one of the wonderful principles of the cooperative system is community. And this facility was actually built by the community at the community's cost. And it was built for you, and it serves that. This turns out to be just the right purpose for it. We're glad that happened. What does the board do? The board actually is elected by all of you, and I'm glad that Jim ran, and I hope that others will continue that spirit of running. My position in District 4, I intend this to be my last term. So in 2.5 years, I would hope that somebody in District 4, 2 or 3 or 4 of you would step up and decide that you need to be part of the system. Is it going to take you a while to learn? It will. Like almost all of us, as we step into that you have an idea, but almost very few parts of that idea ever end up to turn out to be gospel at the end. As a board, have we made mistakes? We have. We've made lots of them, more than sometimes we like to think that we want to. One of those that jump at us, of course, is the Community Sense program. And as we took that wonderful program, that is a wonderful program, to heart, and we intended to fund it in a way that would have worked, and that turned out to be the wrong way. So I'll gladly take the blame for that. And there are other mistakes that we've made as well. But on the reverse side, have we made successes? There, we have. And the ship of Jump River has been righted, and I think all of you, as you blend your way into the system, can understand that It's there for you to serve you. The one thing that sometimes people forget is that we as directors all pay the same electric bills you do. We hear from a couple different types of people that some people don't care as long as their electricity goes on when they turn the switch on. That's wonderful. Others, of course, the cost is too high. And I tend to be in the last category, is that I've got a daughter in Arkansas, and certainly they're in a different situation, but her electric bill is like 30% of mine. What does that mean for us as directors? How can we best serve you to lower the cost? Well, there's really not a lot we can do. One of the things that I think we're going to look at as we have our strategic planning training session in October is those fixed costs were one of the highest in the state. That's the $40.90 that you all pay on your bill. And I think that most of us don't understand exactly how that is broken down and what we can help our management staff do to make sure that it doesn't rise again. I haven't heard this summer yet as some of the other cooperatives maybe have raised theirs, but that's one of those things that certainly it represents the necessary need of providing you that service. That's what the cost is. And everybody has to pay that. On the reverse side, the rates that we pay are among the lowest rates. So the rates you pay on electricity you use are among the lowest of almost all the cooperatives and all the other utilities that are here. So can those things work? They can. There's another thing that we need to work on, and that is line loss. So line loss, what happens is because a lot of our system was built years ago, amongst other things, is that our line loss is about twice what we would hope that it would be. Do we get to help as directors make the policies that will straighten that ship? We do. Do we get to go out there and redo the lines? We don't. But the policies that are necessary to allow that to happen so we can lower that rate that keeps your bill in line, that certainly is another good thing. I know Jim is going to talk to you about time of use rates, and that's something that is going to jump itself through into the system in the next year or so, and that will benefit both the cooperative as a whole, but it should benefit most of you as individual users as well, and I'm sure that he's going to talk about that. Another thing that we will talk about as directors, and I hope that it comes forward, is that since we have a new community room, and it can seat 60, 70, 80 people comfortably, and we can distance ourselves a little bit less than that it's time that all of you participate in your cooperative. And we hope to have different sessions where we can do that. We'll probably try to break it into districts where we can have 20 or 30 of you at a time, listen to your concerns so you can help us pass those concerns on to our management staff and make the right policies to make those things all come together. That's really what it's going to take. I mean, the cooperative is a group of you as member owners, and it's going to take you involved in the system in order to make it be what you want it to be. One of the things that many people said as they watched the facility first get torn down and then start rebuilding north of town, how in blazes could you spend $6 million of our money to build that facility? What's that going to do to our rates? Well, I'm sure the board was pretty convinced amongst themselves that the things that we can save is that as you can change your efficiency and change the operations to a way that we can justify spending that $6 million, which will be paid over the next 30 or 40 or 50 years, and not raise costs, but we actually may end up allowing ourselves to keep from raising costs for a number of years because we built that. It doesn't seem possible that you can spend $6 million and still do that. But I'm here to tell you, and I think Jim is going to be here to tell you as well, is that that's why this board has agreed to do that. And I hope that we will reap benefits for a long time because we've allowed our staff to be able to become more efficient. Now we're going to hear from our manager, who's going to tell you how it all works.
Thanks, Jerry. That's going to be a hard one to follow. So, back in 2018 when I first came on board, it was the year of change. That's what I told you guys. I was wrong. 2020 is the year of change. How could we have known that we'd be going through what we're going through now? So, we've done very well. One of the things that we have at Jump River is a good board, good management team. We're proactive. We didn't see COVID. We didn't know what was going to happen. But we were able to take precautions to make sure that we can move forward and keep the lights on and still keep the company up and running. I'm not sure when we're going back to normal. I don't think anybody does. But when we go back to normal, the co-op will be here. We're still here to serve the members. We want to be here. That's part of the headquarters. I want to thank the employees. Our employees are some of the most dedicated people you run across. Today I've got a few, and I'm going to single them out really quick. I've got some summer help here today. Karis, Sam, stand up, Jay, we've got Lori, JB, Denise, Jess is hiding somewhere, and she's in the back, Tammy. In the front, we got Jennifer. You have to excuse her. She doesn't talk much. She's from down south. And Sebastian found a good spot to hide behind the pillar. One thing you're going to notice is this year we didn't have the line crew come in. The reason the line crew is not here is their social distance. We kept the 3 districts separated. We can't afford to have a line crew go down and be able to lose our linemen and to be able to serve and keep the lights on in the event of an emergency. So the line crew is doing their part by staying back. It's something we're trying to do to be proactive. We don't want to go have to find a way to get the lights on and have no crew to be able to respond to that emergency. So the biggest thing I want to tell you guys about 19, and Jerry didn't allude to this, but this was a board effort, this was an attorney effort, this was a management effort. We reached an agreement with the LCO, and that LCO agreement is in the form of a contract. It is a signed contract. So our problems with the LCO were reached. We came out to a peaceful resolution, mutually beneficial. You guys saw the term sheet. We stuck to the term sheet that was in the magazine. So that's exactly what we went after. The tribe was very supportive of it. Both parties signed that document. The document has now been moved on to the Bureau of Indian Affairs. They're waiting to affix their signature to it until we finish up some surveying issues that we have on the reservation. Once that's done, that chapter of Jump River's past will be closed. We can move on. So, big accomplishment by both the board and management. There was a lot of time and effort that went into it. So, Jerry was pretty humble about that. That is something that this board worked very hard on. Last year, as you saw with Halverson's report, our margins were a little lower, but we managed to return $384,000 back to the membership. We're still giving back. We've gotten leaner, and that's part of the things that we're doing about making sure that we're being effective to pass those costs of that building and keep them controlled. We want to make sure we're in control of the situation. We don't need a lot to get by. We need the minimum to get by to be accepted, and that's what we're doing. You know, the building, Jerry talked about the building. The building was a big undertaking. I know we had a few discussions in the boardroom about the building. Do we want to remodel? What do we want to do? What's best for the membership? I think the solution that we came to was best for the membership. The original cost on that building was $6.1 in the estimate. I'm happy to report that building came in at $5.9 million. We came in under budget. We came in under time. And thank heavens it came when it came, because we were really able to use it during this current situation that we're sitting in. If we would have been in the old structure, we wouldn't have been able to get the staff at work. So a lot of kudos goes to the board for working with management and staff to make sure that we were able to get that facility up and going. We don't have to raise the rates. That's what the other big issue that we always are concerned with. By putting that building together and using the technology that we've instilled into the co-op, new software, accounting software, new line equipment that looks for the line loss, bringing our personnel in and getting training on areas that they haven't been trained before, that's important to us. But by doing that, we're saving money. And that's why you're seeing we're not having to raise the rates of the building. The other good thing that Jerry let me announce, and I think he could have too, no rate increase this year. And I don't foresee a rate increase next year either. We're being effective, we're managing correctly, we're doing what we need to do to keep the costs under control and to serve the membership. Now, Jerry did mention time of use. And time of use kind of falls in with something we've talked about on ways that we can help save the membership money. Give the membership a choice. You can stay with your current billing that you currently have, or you can go to a time of use platform. Time of use will allow you to use your power at the times of day that we specify are not going to be an impact on the system. If you're willing to do that, the cost will be cheaper. So it comes up to give membership control. And now is a perfect time for that. As of yesterday, I found out that 70% of the membership of Junk River, we have over 9,000 members, 70% of our membership is using electronic means. That's to pay your bills, that's Smart Hub. That's the new technology that we put in place. With Smart Hub, with the new technology, with our members becoming more adapted to being electronic in the electronic age, you can monitor your account. Time of use falls in with that. You will have control over it. You can see your daily reads. You can see everything going on. I expect that we'll roll that program out here sometime next year, or be really close to make it to the board for their approval next year. It's going to be big. As that moves along, we've also done some other stuff on the backside on voltage control and modernization in our substations. With everything that we're doing, I can really see that we'll probably get rid of our controlled devices, and we're actually going to be able to control and decrease our demand at the substation level. So, working on some big things, some really beneficial things to the co-op. We're also bringing jobs back into the co-op. We're not going to be hiring out and using subcontractors. We're going to move those jobs, positions back into the community. That might mean bringing on another employee or two, but the boring, the trenching, everything that we've been doing in the past and going outside this area, we're going to bring back into the area. It's going to be done here. By doing that, we control costs, and we also keep the costs from exceeding what they should be inside the co-op. We also invested in Badger Unified. Badger Unified is a cooperative tree trimming service formed by co-ops for co-ops. We're in that. We're one of the co-ops that has that. Since we've been doing that, our right-of-way is becoming much better. And when the right-of-way is better, the outages go down and the trees aren't on the lines. So we're really after ways to improve and to always be efficient. And that's what we're trying to do. The facility has been built in a manner to allow us to increase and to bring staff on without ever having to do another addition or do anything more. The building operates about 1/3 the cost of the old facility, which is surprising when you look at the building. But the building's smart. The electrical, or the tellers that were in there this morning, the election inspectors, they can tell you that it was a little warm when they got in there this morning. I know at least one of you got in there this morning, it was a little warm. But the building shuts itself down. It doesn't sense movement in the room. The heating system automatically brings it back down to a minimum level. Lighting shuts off. It goes into a sleep mode. It saves our energy. It becomes more efficient. And that's what we want to do, is become more efficient. So I guess I'll wrap this up the best I can. I know we have strategic planning coming up. If there's something that is an issue, please drop it off. Let me know about it. Send us an email, and we'll address it at the strategic planning. We'll make sure your voice is heard. Always talk to your directors. These people are great. They talk to you, then they pick up the phone and call me, which is pretty good. It does happen. So we'll continue to provide safe, reliable power as part of our mission statement. We'll do everything that we can to make sure that we keep the rates down and we stabilize the rates and we don't have any increases. And we'll do everything that we can to make sure that we're communicating what's happening to the membership. So I thank you all, and you guys have been wonderful through this. And I appreciate the membership and everything you've done. Hopefully next year you can come down and see Dairy Days through the drive-in. This year we had tractors and motorcycles come through. Best thing I've ever seen. We might actually open up a small ice cream shop with rival Dairy Queen. So anyway, it was very good. I appreciate you all, and thank you all for coming.
Questions? We're ready for questions. Jim, myself, or any of the board, or the auditor's report? Anybody got any questions? We'll send the mic to you. No questions that I see. Thank you. Next we'll call for unfinished business. Can we do that?
Yeah, you can do it, you just can't take formal action.
Is there any unfinished business? Anything we need to hear from you guys? Hearing none. Is there any new business? Seeing no new business, we'll turn it back over to Niles to do the prize drawings.
I'm not sure I was educated to do this, but I'm happy to draw. 5, Jerry, to begin with. You want the big one first, or the smaller one first?
Whatever you guys decide.
So this is the grand prize winner, but we'll hold on to this. We wanted to make sure everybody had a chance at that. And we're drawing now for 5 $100 prize winners. And you have to be present to win. So the first one is Gary Purchett. Gary, congratulations. Second one, Charlotte Reisner. Charlotte here, congratulations to you. Third one, Steve Jansen.
Was there a red ticket? Come back over here, we got a problem. We found a ticket. That's probably mine from WRA.
Next one is Jackson Reeder. One of our capable election inspectors. And John, is it Reback? John, congratulations.
And the grand prize winner is Zola Geisler, but I'm guessing that's Jerry? Where's Zola? There's Zola. Grand prize winner. Okay, hearing nothing else, it's my pleasure to adjourn the meeting, unless somebody's got something else. Thank you for coming.